Hey everybody, it's Carlos from Immortals Inc. here. I'm again here with Mikey Stallings.
Of course, and before I even start this, what did you just tell me you were?
Is this guy right behind me?
You got to move your head out the way for a second. He's right there.
Is that guy here?
You're actually in his place for a reason. It's ironic.
I'm literally this guy. That is what I think of every day.
End of story. But anyways, what do you have today? Maybe we should start with that, right?
Yeah. I'm talking about Arkham Horror, the card game. I know that you see a lot of Cthulhu and Arkham Horror, especially you and John talk about a bunch of stuff like that.
I see too much of it.
Yeah.
Too
much.
much.
Like you know way more than you ever wanted to know. I watched a video of yours the other day, and you actually made a reference to something. Like you
to
knew
something?
Yeah, to some part of the game or universe of this nerddom, and you actually knew what you were talking about.
Wow, I like this correlation already. Keep going.
It's pretty fun. Pretty funny. Pretty proud. Proud for the moment. So Arkham Horror, the card game from Fantasy Flight Games. This is a living card game, which means it's not collectible, which means once you buy the cards, they're all the same in the same. Like if you get a box, the starter box has all the same cards in it. And what it is a quick, almost like role-playing type experience, except with cards. Basically, what you're doing is it's set up in different adventures. Like in this core box set, you get everything you need to play. You get like 5 adventurers. There's like 3 women, 2 guys. You get all the chips you need. You get the different cards that you can add to. And you pick a character, and that character has a deck. It's a little deck. I think it's like 30 or 40 cards. And what you're doing is you're adventuring through a story. And in this core book, there's 3 different stories. I think the first one's called The Lurking.
Something ominous and very negative.
I can't remember the top of it. But anyway, you actually start, it reads you the story where you start. Like you start in a room or your office or something like that, and all of a sudden you become trapped in there. And it gives you instructions on the card. And what you're trying to do is combat a horror that occurs. Like in the first one, it was ghouls. Do you know what a ghoul is?
Well, aren't they like ghosts, but like they're transparent?
No. Ghoul.
How close was I? On a scale of 1 to 10.
Not even close. Just imagine like humans that live underground and are cannibals, and they just devolve into like half dog, half animal, half.
Have you ever played that Shadow of Mordor game, like the one that came out years ago when the Xbox One came out first?
For like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I watched somebody play it. I think
they had ghouls in that, and they came out the ground. But I thought
that's
they were
exactly what a ghoul is. Yeah, they come out. They live underground. They gotta eat the dead and all that stuff. There was ghouls in your house. You had ghouls. They showed up. So you and your friends, your fellow investigators, because this runs from 1 to 5 players. Obviously, you can play this solo. So what happens is you start in your little house or your room or wherever the cards tell you to start, and then it gives you instructions like, okay, you have to do this to get out of this room. And you have to find this many clues. So what you have to do is investigate. You have different abilities. Like there's a fight, there's a willpower, there's a observation, and then there's like a flee. You know, like your ability to run. And it's all like lower numbers, like 2, 3, or 4. And then any monster or event that you encounter, you have to have so many successes against it. You're like, say you're just basically you're fighting a creature, and the creature might have like 5 hit points or something like that. And you have 4 strength. It has also has a 4 strength, so you're even. You win that. But then they have a chaos bag when there's a bunch of chips in there, and you reach in, you pull out, and there's either pluses or minuses or some special things like elder signs or things that just go horribly wrong. And if you still have a higher number or equal to that creature, then you win it. You damage it. You win it. You beat the encounter, or you find the clue, and then you can keep it. And basically, what you're trying to do is find clues enough to open other doors or combat monsters.
Didn't you play this like a week ago?
Yeah, I just played it last week.
How'd you like it?
I like it a lot. It's really hard to explain now that I'm talking about it. It's like, oh, there's a lot to it. I did like it. I like the old version. This is the brand new version. This came out. It's not like it's brand new, like just came out, but it came out recently. This is like an updated version, and for some reason it ran smoother than the old version. I think either they had more instructions on the card or they streamlined some rules, and it made it easier because we played the first adventure. And what I like it is a campaign play. So you actually have a sheet where you mark off what happened. So whatever you do in this game, like if you left somebody to die, or you didn't kill the main monster, or you did kill the main monster, it affects the next adventure because it tells you can modify the cards. Because there's acts and then there's agendas. So there's different acts. So like you start on Act 1 and it'll tell you what's going on. And in order to advance the act, you have to get so many clues. There's also agendas, which is the villain or the evil or the monster's side. That also advances, but that advances if the monsters start to get more stuff. Like You might, get hurt, or a character might die, or a card you pull says, they advance the agenda, which means you add like a doom token. Once you get so many doom tokens to the agenda, it flips over and it becomes worse. Like, you could just have a rat infestation in your basement, and then the doom tokens make, you get so many doom tokens, you advance the agenda, you flip it over and you find out there's so many rats because they're being chased by ghouls. So now you have ghouls and rats in your basement you got to deal with,
Besides ghouls, what else do you encounter?
This goes all the way up to like Cthulhu, any of the Cthulhu mythos monsters.
So just like brain-eating.
Yeah, brain-eating maniacs,
they're
giant
trying to
tentacles.
ragdoll you through the buildings and throw you off.
Yeah. Basically this is what you got, right?
Okay, yeah.
That's
flying hell demons.
Yeah,
and you're using a pistol.
Yeah, that's your day. It's set in the 1920s, so I like it, of course.
Oh, okay.
You have your G-men, you have your criminals, you have your mad scientists, you have your archaeologists, you have your historians and all that stuff.
And then we have you, and you're behind you.
Yeah, I'm behind me.
Explain why you chose to bring a pistol to that fight.
That's all you had.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You said 1920s. Why didn't you get like one of those, I don't know, cannons?
Well, that's the point of this type of horror, is because you don't know what's coming.
Oh, okay.
Like,
So it just happens
pistols,
out of nowhere.
yeah, pistol's good enough for a guy, but like say you have a pistol and you're like, what's that noise? And you go out there and there's like some 8-headed monster. You're like, who expects that?
Yeah.
It's not like you walk outside with a tank,
Yeah, true.
So like it's set in that. And then what happens is you have to advance your acts faster than the agenda. If you were able to get all your acts done and succeed, then you kind of like win that particular adventure, if you call it winning, because there's always something bad that happens. Like in the last event, I don't want to ruin it because like these adventures are set, but like say in the last adventure, you think you won, but in the end you found out like, whoa, you messed up, or you have to make some horrible choice. Like, okay, you either got to burn the church down or you don't burn the church down. If you don't burn the church down, then there's still a problem. If you do burn the church down, then, well, you burn the church down. You got to suffer the consequences for that.
Live with that for the rest of your life.
Yeah, pretty much. Those go over to the next adventure. And they put these out in like adventure packs. So like if you're done with these 3 or 4 adventures in this box, I think it's 3, you can buy a next adventure pack and it'll have a different storyline. But they're all written like the H.P. Lovecraft stories, so they're all very depressing and down, and there's no happy ending whatsoever.
I love that. It's just awesome.
But you do gain experience. What I like is after the adventure, you get so many experience points. With those experience points, you can use them to buy other cards, because in each box, like this box has the basic decks you have, and then there's like a big pile of cards that you can buy to add to your deck, and then you just take out other cards. So you get more powerful or better or different items, and that's how you pay for them. There's a mechanic where you pay for things like either with sanity, or you pay for them with resources or whatever you got.
Did you say there's an RPG too for this, or what?
Yeah, like John does a lot of these. John, the ones John do?
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, what would you rank it if you had to rank the card game, the RPG, and the, what was the other one, the board game?
Yeah,
How would you rank it, top 3, 1 to 3?
Man, that's rough.
I'll put you on the spot.
So right now, this very moment, this one's my favorite right now, this card game, because it's quick, it's easy, you can put it up, and it's fun to play, and you can play it casual, and everything's in front of you. RPG, man, that's rough, because the board game was my favorite, but that's 2nd edition. I haven't played the new one. I have it at home. I opened it up. I'm gonna do another cast on this to see if I like it.
We did make a video on the board game, but we're just gonna forget about that.
Yeah, because I didn't feel right doing it that way.
Let's forget about that. It's in the vault.
Yeah, no, it's in the vault. Destroy it. But yeah, like in the past, it was the board game was my favorite. Now this new card game is my favorite. RPG is always second. I'll always play the RPG. That's always a lot of fun, but it's not as quick. Like RPGs, you got to set up and you got to get people together.
Months.
Like, you could literally get yourself. I could take this home. I could open this up right now and play this on this table and by myself and just be happy. Or I can play with my friends and, a couple people. It doesn't matter. And then they can jump in and out of the campaign. There's no set like, if he didn't show up, we can't play.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because it levels the cards themselves, the mechanics level to many players as you have, So like if you only have 1 player, then you only have to find 2 clues. If you have 5 players, maybe you have to find 10 clues, but there's 5 people looking for it. So it doesn't. And the monster even scales to what it is. So it's very challenging. Like, to be honest, the last game we played, the first one, if I didn't have dynamite, I literally had quite literally had a room full of ghouls. I literally had to throw a stick of dynamite in the room we were at, and it damaged us, but it killed all the ghouls, and we were able to get past that.
It's like, whose legs stayed on? Whose arms stayed on?
Yeah, basically, I was like, nah, screw it. Let me burn this bridge that I'm standing on. So
yeah, we just destroy everybody here. Whoever survives.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. But it's a good living card game. If you're into living card games and you like Cthulhu or horror, even you don't even have to know anything about Cthulhu. Just any of you like the horror element, excellent game. It's one of the best games I think on the market, in my opinion. yeah, I'm going to leave it at that.
It's here at Immortals Inc.
Yeah, it's here at Immortals Inc. I think they're, oh man, here I go again. I don't have a price. $60, $59.99.
Yeah, probably $59.99.
That's a big box. You get a lot of stuff in it, and then we have the supplements that come with it. So
it's in the bio.
The game has been around for a long time too. This is like their 3rd edition, I believe. It's not going anywhere. It's really popular. So
sweet. Where's that sub button at?
It's right here.
Okay, you had to think for a second.
Yeah, come on. So yeah, I know it's not a big deal. I don't know. I heard somebody else say I'd hate to steal their tagline, but subscribe, please. It helps us. We can get it monetized, so I can get him the more money, the guy over there,
and I can get him some more money. So I mean, listen, it's not that hard.
It's not even about the money.
If you don't care about your YouTube account, and you don't care who you're sub to, or you do, whether you do, just hit the sub button. It's not that hard.
And I hate to feel rough. It's not about the money. It's like, just give me your money. No, I'm not. It's because we enjoy doing this, and we enjoy the store, and our customers support us, and our Patreon supporters support us also. And
we want to look prettier for you, basically.
Yeah, basically, we just kind of put it back into the business and go from there and tell you about games in a real quick manner. Lord knows I cannot explain game mechanics. I can just tell you if it's fun or not. This is fun. All right. Well, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Peace.